Hi, I'm Sophia.
And I'm Natasha, and we are both finishing our bachelor degrees in environmental engineering at DTU Sustain.
And we have been doing our bachelor project with DTU Aqua.
As a part of our bachelor project, we conducted a baseline study at a future reef site called Circle Reef, which is one of many reef restoration projects of the organization Køge Bay Stone Reef. This project was also made together with an EU-financed project called Ocean Citizen. Throughout the 1900s, about 55 kilometers squared of natural stone have been removed from the Danish coastline to be used for building. This has disrupted the natural habitats, causing a decline in biodiversity and abundance of species in our coastal environment. The Circle Reef project and Ocean Citizen project therefore aim to restore some habitats in Køge Bay through reefs made of granite stone and concrete, hoping to increase biodiversity and abundance of marine species over time.
For the study, footage is needed of the current conditions at the Circle Reef area. To collect the footage, a GoPro camera was mounted on a rig to film in the direction of a sinking line with sponges attached at 1, 2 and 3 meters to determine visibility in the clips. The rig with camera was deployed at the sites with the complete setup of the sinking line connected to an anchor, a floating line and a buoy flag, so the rig could be found again. On a typical day of fieldwork, we would go to Mosel Harbour, where we first would collect our gear stored at a clubhouse kindly lended to us by the diving club Aqua. Then the gear was carried to our boat and we were ready for a good day of fieldwork. From Mosel Harbour, we sailed about 10 kilometers to the Circle Reef sites.
At the site, a buoy from a previous deployment was obtained from the water, placed in the boat, and the setup could be pulled onto the boat by one person while the other person packed the setup nicely for redeployment later. First, the floating line and anchor were pulled up, and finally the sinking line was used to pull up the heavy rig from the bottom and onto the boat.
Then the boat was sailed to a new location within the area. In the meantime, the camera was detached from the rig and the battery was exchanged with a fully charged one, and the SD card with video clips was exchanged with an empty one. The camera was then programmed to film 2 minutes each hour, in the daytime only. Finally, the camera was mounted on the rig again, and we were now ready for deployment at the newly found location. We were a team of 6 people during the obtainment and deployment work. Our team members were Fieldwork Supervisor Lars Emil, Jasmine, a fellow DTU student, Emma and Sophie, 2 interns from Northern Ireland, and the 2 of us. On a day of fieldwork, we were 3 people on the boat, with Lars Emil steering the boat at all times. It was a fun and exciting learning experience to be a part of the baseline fieldwork.
A baseline study is a mapping of conditions before implementation and follows the BACI method, which stands for Before, After, Control, Impact. Through video analysis, this baseline study indicates the level of biodiversity and fish abundance at the control and impact sites before the implementation of the reefs. The Circle Reef area consists of 2 control sites where no reef will be built, and 2 of each impact sites, which are where the future boulder and concrete reefs will be built. The projects Circle Reef and Ocean Citizen therefore also aim to directly compare the natural granite boulder reefs to concrete reefs, and if the results are promising, some man-made reefs might be made from reused concrete in the future. For more information about the Circle Reef project and the other projects of Køge Bay Stone Reef, visit their website køgebukstenrev.dk. and Ocean Citizen on their website oceancitizen.eu.
All this would not have been possible without the Velux Foundation, Køge Bay Stone Reef, with a special thanks to Alan Scheller, head of the organization, an EU-funded project, Ocean Citizen. We would also like to thank project supervisor Jon C. Svendsen and fieldwork supervisor Lars Emil Andersen for guidance along the way.